spooning, if you will. Everybody know what spooning is? Does everybody know? Does anybody not know what spooning is? Okay. Anybody want to explain? Somebody want to explain? I'll explain. It's okay. You want the mic? You do it? Okay. Spooning is basically cuddling, okay, naked. There's a certain position that looks like two spoons lined up. That's why they call it spooning, okay? If you use your imagination, you can figure it out. But for some people, that is their sexual expression. You're a little red now, but that'll pass. Okay, we will all know a little bit more about each other after this workshop, okay? Okay? General rules of the road, okay? Talk to your partner, okay? Most of the things that happen when the lights go out, most of the disasters, it's funny, I always love coming on after Molly when she does her disaster preparation, okay? Most of the disasters that happen with the lights off, okay, happen because the two people that are, I should say two, the people, there may be more than two, okay, the people that are engaging in the activity haven't talked about it, haven't said to each other, gee, how is this going to work? It appears that you may have a problem, okay? Learn as well as teach. Be the expert about you. If you can't explain to someone what you need, sex is kind of pointless at that point because it's going to be a disaster. Okay? You need to be able to tell somebody not only what you need, but what you expect, okay? And how you want things done, as well as how you don't want things done. Sometimes the list of what you don't like is a lot easier to explain than the list of what you do like or what you could like, okay? It's okay to experiment and be prepared to laugh. Okay? If you can't laugh at yourself and laugh at your partner, you probably shouldn't be without your clothes in front of them. Okay? Okay? Was that an affirmation, Stacey? Okay. Okay? You really if you can't have a meaningful discussion about your sexual behavior before the sex actually starts, you probably shouldn't be having it. Okay? And good hygiene is essential, okay? We all know those folks, those people with disabilities that you can kind of smell before you can see, okay? You know what I mean. Everybody's going, yeah, I got a friend like that too, okay? And then, of course, the omnipresent thing comes, somebody says, well, nobody wants to have sex with me because I'm disabled. Well, in some of my workshops, one of the things that kind of gets said is, no, people really don't want to have sex with you because you smell bad or your clothes are dirty, okay? If you want to be desirable to someone, you must appear to be desirable, okay? Okay, moving into the fast lane, okay? Respect your body and your partners too, okay? And why I say that is, sometimes people, in the heat of the moment, don't respect the limit. If what's being done hurts and you don't want it to hurt, some people enjoy it hurting a little bit, but not enjoy hurting a lot. You need to be prepared to stop whatever you're doing, okay? And also listen to feedback from your partner about whether what you're doing is okay for them too. Okay? Establish your limits, okay? I was telling somebody this morning, was talking about exchanging how to define your sexual limits with a new partner. And I said, what I think you should do, and what I thought was a great idea, is to go to Barnes & Noble and buy the Joy of Sex book. Okay, everybody know the Joy of Sex? Basically a how-to manual, start to finish, of just about all things sexual, okay? And you give your partner a red pen, and you take a blue pen, and you flip a coin to see who gets the book first, okay? And your partner should make notes in the margin or underline things or crease pages based on whatever they feel they'd want to do. Now, some people write notes and say, hey, yeah, that sounds great. Some people write notes and say, yuck, not on a bet. Okay? Not doing that, not happening. Tear this page out of the book. It's just not happening. Then what you do is once your partner is finished with the book, you take it back and you go through the book and make your notes in a different color, okay? And then give the book back to your partner. So everybody kind of defines their limits without the conversation, okay? Because generally the conversation never happens, okay? Some people are really good about saying, you know what, I really like, and I expect it twice a week into perpetuity, okay? Okay? Some people enjoy having sexual limits like that, okay? Every Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to bed early, and here's where we're going. Other folks just their personalities are such that they're not comfortable having that conversation. And then when you add in disability into the whole mix, you come up with another set of limits and constraints. So sometimes what I say is when people go through the book and they write their notes and they say, this position looks good, but my hips don't work that way. Okay? There's no way I'm getting in. No. Okay? Conversely, some people look at it and go, I never really thought about this. Okay? Let's circle that page and crease that corner because that looks like a great idea. Okay? Focus on the experience rather than the outcome. A lot of people go into a sexual encounter looking for the big O, okay? Looking for the orgasm at the end. And unfortunately, some people may take them some time to get to that point. And that's absolutely okay, okay? That's absolutely fine. That's why I say focus on the experience. It's not all about the firework finish all the time. And if you focus on the experience, sometimes the outcome becomes better, okay? The outcome becomes more possible, okay? Okay? Be proud of who you are. Self-esteem is sexy, okay? I've worked with individuals, I've dated individuals with all kinds of disabilities. And when people start out, I was very taken by what Robert said this morning about apologizing. People with disabilities tend to apologize for a lot of things. I'm sorry it takes me so long to get my point across. I'm sorry I'm difficult to understand. I'm sorry it takes me an extra 10 minutes to get wherever I need to go. I'm sorry, da 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 da. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Never apologize in the bedroom unless you've done something wrong. You are who you are. Now, if you roll over and poke somebody in the eye, okay, apologize because you shouldn't have poked them in the eye, okay? But if I'm sorry, do we have a comment from the back of the room? I just saw somebody's hands go like this, which kind of makes me wonder in a sexuality discussion.
You know what I said?
No. I'm putting you on the spot. Go ahead.
I said, the only sorry that I want to hear is, I'm sorry that made me bust a nut, but you need to try again.
Very good. That's a good sorry. You know what? I may add that to the slide and pay you next time I do this. Okay? But be proud of who you are, okay? Be proud of what it's not so much about what you can't do, because I have to be very honest about this, and I say this all the time when I do my couples workshop. You were disabled before the lights went out, okay? People know who you are. They know what you can do. It's not like, well, we took off this costume and then we got into bed, okay? Your body does what it does. Your body doesn't do what it doesn't do. That's okay. I think the biggest thing that the biggest mistake you can make is know that something could possibly happen and not be able to tell your partner about it, Okay? And again, there is no right way to have sex. There are some folks with disabilities who will never experience conventional penetration for whatever reason. Either your partner or you or whatever the situation is, there is no right way to have sex. So just because you may not be doing it like the movies doesn't mean that you're not doing it and you can't have a healthy experience. Okay, couple of resources that I recommend everybody have. I have a feeling everybody's going to run out to Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, okay, and buy these, okay? There's Enabling Romance, okay, which has a disability-specific section for each type of disability, and even sections about how disabilities kind of mix. So I was a little taken aback when I initially read that, because there's a section on CP, and there's a section on spina bifida, and there's a section on other disabilities. And then there's some sections about what happens if someone with CP wants to be intimate with someone with spina bifida, or someone with a spinal cord injury wants to be intimate with someone with cerebral palsy. And it was it appeared to me kind of like it was like the gladiatorial games. Like, let's see how many tigers 2 gladiators can take on. Okay? It was kind of like an all-purpose mix and match. But it is a very easy to read book. It is also on the inexpensive side. Most bookshops have it for under $20, and it can be really fun. It has a very good section about how to modify sex toys for people with mobility issues, which is something that nobody talks about. Okay, and the ultimate guide to sex and disability for all of us who live with disabilities, illness, chronic pain. Okay, very good site. You should have it, or should have at least read it at some point if you are planning on being sexually active or want more out of your sex life than you think you're getting right now. There is also the National Sexuality Resource Center, okay, and the Sexual Health Network, which are also great sites. The Sexual Health Network is run by my friend Dr. Mitch Tepper, who is now at the University of Georgia. He is scholar in residence in the Georgia Sexuality and Disability Center. And honestly, if you read some of the questions and answers, it's kind of a how-to about anything you could ever imagine, okay? Again, it's disability specific, but some of them are disability questions that I think anybody could benefit from going and reading. Okay, that's the end of my formal presentation. Now comes the questions. Okay? Let's break the ice, folks. Okay? Anybody have a question about anything they'd like answered or are willing to share with the group, unless you're going to whisper to me? Question? Come on, everybody had questions before. Anybody have a question? Practical or practical, philosophical? Hold on. Hold on. I lost my Donnie.
Well, I didn't realize my hand went up first. When you say modifying a sex toy, what do you mean modifying a sex toy? Should I know something about the dildos and the other fake vaginas I've never bought but always been curious about?